She sells seashells by the seashore. Surely she sells the surely.
Reload. Reload. We are live. Ugh. We are live.
Amazing.
I do not speak until I see gameplay on my screen. I do not speak.
I mean, I see gameplay.
Well, I don't have your eyeballs, Harry.
Well, I'm looking at Twitch.
That sounds nice, Harry. I'm sure. I wish I could say the same.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, you're using the C's Twitch account, not yours.
Yeah, are you looking at my channel?
You conditioned me to look at your channel for years. Sorry.
Oh my
He's
God.
always used the C's channel for story time.
No, he did not.
Well, I mean, recently. For as long as I've been here,
that's
which
what-
is
that's
a few months.
Yeah, so, yeah, like all the time you've been storytime, it's all been on the C's channel. Yeah, there was like a moving period because this was supposed to be.
To be honest, for a while I didn't know there was a difference between your channel and the C's channel. I thought you used the C's channel for both of them.
Yeah, yeah, I had to like switch around for this stuff. It's pretty good. Okay.
What a way to start, folks.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Good evening.
yeah.
Good evening. My name is Scrappy Fan 92. With me today are Harry, Raideran, and Pedriva, who is definitely in this call.
Yep. Well,
Definitely her.
totally is.
And excuse me if the stream is like dying on itself because my internet has been a prat lately and I can't really fix it right now.
Did you say
Finally.
a prat?
Yes.
I do not understand.
Harry is very English.
Yeah. Well, is that not a thing in America?
Good evening.
No, not as far as I've heard.
Yeah, it's
I think I've heard it a few times, but maybe from Europeans, so...
right. Yeah, it's more of a British thing.
I've heard of plank and prick from you. Prat is less commonly heard.
That's basically what it means. It's just another way to say something like that.
Yeah, I figured as much. It's just I've never heard.
Oh. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Moving on to our story.
Yes, hi folks. I would just like to say hello, and I hope everyone has been alright. Happy belated Trans Day visibility to you all. And, yeah, today, at least in my time zone, is April Fool's Day, so...
One hell of a
I
day
didn't-
to wish someone a belated Trans Day of visibility.
I can't believe
Not a joke. Not a joke.
I know it's not a joke, but like, what this is? Oh my god, the timing's horrible.
Can't believe Sonic is freaking dead.
Sure is, bro.
I lost my train of thought, if I ever had it.
I think you were introducing today's subject matter.
Today is April Fool's Day, and really we had no plans to do anything special today, but I think after a bit of, we delayed this episode, delayed starting recording of this episode for so long, I had enough time to search for a secondary story, because originally we were just going to continue the Flintstones story, but we'll do a second one quickly, another story quickly, and I think it is time we revisit the wonderful world of Honey Pop, or rather we go into the wonderful world of Honey Pop on Storytime for the first time.
It's such a wonderful world, bro.
I guess I have to explain what Honey Pop is to all of you.
In case you missed the internet in 2015 or whatever.
I mean, I wish I missed the internet in 2015.
Tuh.
So, I've never played Honey Pop in my life.
Neither have I. I've just watched.
Horny game. Puzzles.
Okay, close enough.
That's all I really care to know.
So, yeah, we're Rayman and I and Pedriva, who is most definitely here, are going to read a story about that iconic video game series.
It is a horny game. It is a horny dating sim with bejeweled mechanics.
Right.
Well, alright then. We are most definitely reading a story about a puzzle game, so I think it's time we get into it.
Yep.
Good.
This is The Minesweeper by Broken Typewriter.
Lamar fooled you.
Yep, that's the joke. We're not actually playing. We're not actually doing Honey Pop because today looks nice for minesweeping today.
Yep. This is a one-shot story about Minesweeper, published on November 26th. Yes, published on November 26, 2007.
Yep, and that sentence is the first line. It is real. Today looks nice for minesweeping today. I'm sure I'll get it right this time. Here we go.
The Minesweeper got outside his house and ran straight in one direction. He was heading to an open field. He thought to himself about his past mistakes, and he believed he could do this. What? He believed he could do this.
Oh boy, this is great. This is already two grammatical issues. Yeah, I'm going to clear the land and flag the mines. You can count on it.
Saw the He saw the big gray field ahead. With much excitement, he began running to the middle. What? Yes, that is actually correct. He began running to the middle.
I'm going to minesweep. I'm going to minesweep. Oh, I guess he's supposed to be. God damn it! How's this already broken me? I'm going to minesweep. I'm going to minesweep. I'm going to.
An explosion occurred. The minesweeper stepped on a mine and died. Lives lost. 1. Seconds later, he spawned in the middle of the field.
What the heck just happened?
He looked around him, then remembered he died from a mine.
Oh, stupid. So stupid.
He kicked the dirt. Oh my, he kicked the dirt. Then the minesweeper pulled out his device and began his task.
Alright, let's get going.
He started walking in the same direction, holding his device up. A few minutes passed, and he still didn't pick up any sense of mines nearby. He was getting bored.
Man, where are the mines?
By the time he made another step, he exploded. Lives lost, 2. He spawned in the center again.
What's wrong with this machine?
He inspected it and found a problem. The device was off.
Idiot.
He thought. He switched it to on and started again. When the device picked up a scent, a picture of the number 1 appeared on the ground.
Huh. I forgot what these numbers are for.
He thought and remembered something.
Oh yeah, they count a score. 1 point for me.
He cheered, walked again, and exploded. He was very unfortunate. Also, Harry, did you post the link to the story in the Twitch chat?
No, I have not. I can do that in like 2 seconds. Yeah,
Yankees.
the Minesweeper one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Alright.
very unfortunate.
There we go.
Thank you. Lives lost, 3. The Minesweeper spawned in the Minesweeper spawned in the same point again. He was getting frustrated. Then something came to him.
Ah, I remember. These numbers show how many mines are nearby. How could I forget?
He is a really stupid Minesweeper. He was minesweeping, and he spotted a 3, a few 2s, and many 1s.
Huh. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it.
He already finished half the field.
Yay! Only halfway done. Wait until I tell my friends.
Suddenly, his foot dug into the crack between 2 great panels. The mines were tripped and exploded. Again. Lives lost, 4.
Dog Flarget. Why am I dying so easily?
He was angry since he was about to finish. Now the field restarted. He growled and picked up his device.
Calm yourself. You need to focus.
He thought. He took time to remember what these numbers were for and played again. He found a number and it showed the number 8. It was a moment of silence.
8?
He asked himself. The minesweeper looked around him and counted the panels surrounding the number. There were 8 panels.
What the heck is this?
He got angry and forced himself to die. The minesweeper exploded again. Lives lost, 5. As he spawned, he began jumping repetitively to express his anger. He wasn't controlling his jumps, so as he jumped a little to the... He wasn't controlling his jumps as he jumped a little to the left and exploded. Lives lost, 6. The boy was getting nowhere. He took a deep breath and began carefully with concentration. He was doing better than the last few times.
Okay. Keep this up, and you won't die.
But it was too much concentration, and his foot got stuck between 2 panels and he tripped, dropping his device.
No!
No explosions occurred. He was lucky, and it created relief.
Phew. And I thought I would have died.
He got up and walked, but he tripped on his device that was on the floor, and he exploded. Lives lost, 7. With much frustration, he decided to leave the field until boom. Lives lost, 8. He sighed and attempted to leave the field again. This time, the minesweeper managed to avoid the mines. He went back to his house. Hours later, he came back near the field and took out another device.
Oh, I'm glad I bought this from eBay. Now to work this cloning machine.
He turned it on and set the value to 3. The cloning machine began to shake, and it shot a beam of electricity at the boy. He split into 3 people. He knew this process would save more time and work. As the 3 were certain flagging mines, one of them was having trouble removing a flag from the ground.
Hey guys! I found this panel... I found out this panel doesn't have any mines, but I can't pull out this flag!
The other 2 were a little far, but they heard him.
Ah, I'll come right away.
Responded one responded one of them. He ran straight to the man who was having the flag problem. Then he simply exploded. The two stared at where the clone exploded.
I can't believe my clones are idiots, too.
Whispered the real Minesweeper, the one with the flag problem.
Don't worry, I'll come over there, and I'll be more careful.
Yelled the clone. He walked carefully.
Try not to concentrate too hard, or you're... Try not to concentrate too hard, or you'll trip.
Warned the real Minesweeper. The clone heard him, but he got distracted. He tripped and was devastated by another explosion. The Minesweeper watched his last clone die and began to yell random words. Suddenly, he accidentally pulled out the flag and fell down.
Yeah.
He screamed before he exploded by another mine again. Lives lost, 11. The boy appeared in the center of the field.
I hate this! I hate this habit of mine.
Regaining his calmness, he began to look for his cloning machine. Unfortunately, it was outside the field. He hit himself, like, on the head, in the head. He hit himself and tried to think of a way to get the cloning machine back. Lives lost, 15. Dying a few times, he managed to escape the field. He set it to 10 and activated his clone machine. Now there were 10 Minesweepers.
Alright guys, we need to finish this minesweeping business. Now!
He commanded to nine of his clones. 8 of them saluted, but one of them spoke up.
Hey! Who said you were the leader?
He shouted.
I say I should be the leader. I have better leadership than you.
The real Minesweeper began to get irritated.
What do you mean better leadership? We're the same, and I'm leader because I created you all. Who cares who created who?
He argued back.
You died too many times, so it's my turn. Don't be so stupid, you idiot. Blah, blah, blah. Quit it!
Eight clones were blankly staring at this argument when, suddenly, the clone who spoke up pushed the real Minesweeper to the field. He exploded. Lives lost, 16.
I can't believe I thought of this cloning idea.
He thought to himself. He looked up to where his clones were.
Get those mines! Charge!
The boy was shocked about the clones rushing to the field. He simply forgot to give them their mining devices.
Crap.
Mine after mine, each clone died in each explosion. It was a deadly sight to the boy. He began to bawl.
Why? Why?
Lives lost, 23. He looked up again after bawling, and saw one clone still alive. It was the same one that had argued against him. The clone looked angry and kicked the cloning machine. It shocked him.
No!
He yelled.
Don't damage it!
It was too late. Countless clones of himself started appearing, inside and outside the field. For the clones who did appeared inside the minefield, they were dying. Wait. For the clones who did appear inside the mine... Wait, what? For the clones who did appeared inside the minefield, and they were dying. syntax is throwing me off. There were a lot of explosions around the field. Lives lost after the cloning machine broke. 4,718,359. The field was like a desert. The boy was laying on the floor, tired and hopeless. He thought he would never finish flagging the mines in this field. After what those clones did, there was nothing left in this field. Actually, wait, he never thought he would finish flagging the mines in the field. After what those clones did, there was nothing left in the field. Then it hit him.
Since all those clones died to the mines, then that means...
He took one step. Nothing happened. He took another few steps. Still nothing. The boy ran around the field. He then noticed that all the mines were gone.
Oh, I did it! I don't think
He
that came
cheered.
through.
I heard like, ooh, I did it. He cheered. It was a great victory for him. Actually not. As he ran, he stepped on the last mine of the field and exploded. Lives lost. 4,718,360.
Oh man.
And that is the end of the story.
I can't believe I agreed to this.
That basically sums up Minesweeper, yeah.
It really does.
I think this is the most faithful adaptation of a video game ever, and I think
Yeah.
that should be commended.
Yeah, so the thing is like you just keep dying, but you just keep playing over it. It's like I'll get a better score this time, I swear.
Mario movie, eat your heart out.
God. Ay. Well, that was a fun like meme story, I suppose. Not much to really say about it. It's just kind of funny.
Meme for our purposes.
Yeah. Yeah, just imagine, like, someone, being, like, super serious about, like, writing this. I have to get this perfect.
This Minesweeper fanfiction is gonna be the greatest thing of all time. You'll see! I'll show them all!
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'm typing out a review right now, actually.
My God.
This truly captures the feeling of playing and failing at Minesweeper. Good job.
Nice.
First review I posted in, like, probably several years, I think.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my last review beforehand was, like, March 2nd, 2021.
Dang.
That's not too long ago now, is it? Only 2 years ago.
Eesh.
I was far better at, like, keeping up with the site. So yeah, thank you, Broken Typewriter, for your contributions, and not bad for your first story.
Oh, it was the first story? Huh.
Yeah.
One of two.
I see.
They published all their stuff in 2007, and then they just stopped.
That's a mood. I mean, I kind of did that, to be honest, so I know the feel.
Yeah, that could have been me.
Yeah, I mean, it was you for a while, and then you just suddenly came back to this.
I mean, I never went, like, a whole decade without publishing anything, at least.
Right.
Man, I wonder what
8
this
years.
person's up
About
to
8
now.
years.
Wait, what?
I mean, I went, like, 8 years between chapters, but that never Never got to double digits.
Mm.
I think I might have just despaired if it came to that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel satisfied.
Yeah.
All right, Harry, that's the stream.
Are we actually just gonna stop here?
I don't know, Scrappy. Do you want to stop it? I'm just memeing.
Yeah.
It's heavily tempting because
It's literally not even been 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stream timer. Harry, have you gotten anything done in the game?
Yeah, I'd gone for a couple of levels.
Okay.
I mean, I think that Minesweeper story was like the best reading I've done in a good while.
Yeah.
I didn't have to talk as any characters beyond, the narrator, so that was nice.
I know, right? I only have to voice technically one character.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about it, Ped?
I think it was a really faithful adaptation, if you know what I mean.
I was trying to think of something he would say, and my mind just went blank.
You didn't have to say anything.
Thank you,
my
Pedro, for your feedback.
It was like, I was just like, how do I try and imitate his like voice? Oh no. What are we actually doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
What are we doing?
nice.
We could actually do chapter 3 if you really
Yeah,
want
that's
to.
work.
If it's short, I mean, we could.
Like, what is it? I don't know the word count.
I mean, it doesn't
It's
look
not
that
particularly.
bad.
It's not particularly long chapter. I just imagine there's like more characters speaking. Okay, just so we can at least have some semblance of control. Let's just try to assign roles before we actually read. So I was Fred and Barney last time, so I'll reprise if they show up. That's also Chip, I think. So who wants to be Wilma? Who wants to be Betty?
I was looking through to see if if any of the characters I voiced return. Because I would have to do some.
Oh.
Pebbles shows up. I can't remember who voiced her. Less than a week ago.
I was. It was literally 5 days ago.
Look, I had blanked out that episode just because it was too embarrassing for me.
4 days ago. It was 4 days ago. Yeah, I was. I think I know I had Pebbles and Roxy.
Okay. Let's just get this done quickly.
Yeah.
Previously, yeah, we're reading the Flintstones Rocky Generations, folks. Previously on the Flintstones Rocky Generations by Chameleon777, Fred and Wilma Flintstone adopted a son named Stoney. We time skip to 10 years later. Stoney's a teenager who does some part-time work at the quarry. While he was working, he got injured on the job, and now I guess we're dealing with the aftermath.
Are we?
Well, this is definitely a meanwhile segment, I guess. Words. I do know words. We will get to the aftermath soon enough. So, who wants to be Wilma and who wants to be Betty?
Okay, so who is Betty?
Barney's wife.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
I have no, I am, I have no adeptness at voicing any of these characters, especially not Wilma and Betty with their kind of squeaky voices. So
I have no idea what they sound like.
I can't even, I couldn't even provide a, I can't even do like a cursory imitation to provide a reference. I'd have to like link you a clip of the show. But we don't have time for that, so just do whatever. We're not playing for accuracy here.
I mean, yeah, I guess I guess I'll take Wilma.
Just spreading.
I'll take
All right,
Wilma.
I'll be Betty. Like, went through like the most voice changes over the franchise's history, so her voice isn't even really that consistent sometimes. So yeah, we're doing this. It's kind of Betty's voice is kind of Joyzy-ish, but I don't have the energy for that. So we're just getting into it now. This is chapter 3, A Rock in a Hard Place. Attracted by the smell of appetizing food, Dino wandered into the kitchen and was excited when he saw Wilma and Betty working on a large rack of ribs. He grew even more excited when he saw the large bowls and plates of food on a table. But Wilma immediately noticed his excited look and chuckled.
Sorry, Dino. This is a catering order.
Wilma said in a gentle voice.
I'll make you something later.
Dino whimpered and, letting out a sigh, Wilma picked up a mastodon meatball from the plate on a table and tossed it to him.
Dino, go on now.
She said in a gentle voice.
Betty and I have work to do, and you need to wait by the door for Daddy and Stony to get home from work, okay?
Suddenly looking eager, as Stony or Fred usually brought him a treat every day, Dino nodded and hurried out of the kitchen to wait for their homecoming. Wilma giggled and looked at Betty.
Dino's excited because Stony always talks Fred into stopping at the pet store to get dog treats for Dino, even though they've both had a long day.
Wilma commented in an amused voice.
I'm worried about Stony, Betty. I really am. He goes to school, goes to work, and comes home. He doesn't really socialize.
Betty sighed and added another few meatballs to the tray. Stony's a good kid, and you shouldn't worry about him socializing. Oh my. She replied in a gentle voice. Anyway, I think that's enough meatballs for now.
I think we can finish this later.
Wilma replied in a tired voice.
The order is not needed for 2 days.
Before Betty could reply, the wall phone rang. Wilma hurried over to the phone and picked it up.
Hello?
Wilma asked in a cheerful voice.
Oh, Barney, what is it? There was an accident at the quarry.
At the mention of an accident, Betty frowned and moved closer to the phone.
Okay, Betty and I will come to the hospital right away.
Wilma said in a worried voice.
See you soon. Bye-bye. Stony was in an accident at the quarry.
Wilma said in a worried voice as she hung up the phone and looked at Betty.
Barney just called from the hospital and he said that we should hurry and get there.
Betty nodded, but looked very concerned. We should call Pebbles and let her know, she replied in a worried voice. Stony's her brother, and I'm Sure, he'd want to know that she cares about him.
We can call from the hospital once we know more. Once we know more.
Wilma said, anxious to know whether or not her only son was going to be okay.
Betty, I'm too nervous to drive. Can we take your car to the hospital?
Giving Wilma a reassuring smile, Betty put an arm around her and led her outside. Sure, she replied.
I can't believe we were able to get a flight out this evening.
Pebbles said in an energized tone as she walked out of the gate holding a small turtle shell-sized bag.
Roxy, Chip, are you coming or not?
Unable to bolt back onto the plane because her father was right on their heels, Roxy and Chip came out of the gate, each carrying a large business-like suitcase that contained their clothes and whatever personal items they could fit into them. After being dragged out of their school, they had been taken home and told to pack immediately. They were going to Bedrock that evening to visit their family. Roxy had changed out of her uniform into a pink dress with frilly sleeves before whining that she didn't want to go to a smaller town and be seen as a freak because of her super strength. Pebbles had overruled her and basically had given her a choice. Either be packed by the time they had booked a flight, or be packed for and possibly miss out on bringing something she liked. Roxy had chosen to pack. Pebbles had phoned her agency, moved her meeting up, and while she was gone, Bam Bam had helped Chip to pack and had then explained to both of his children why they were doing this. It was better to take them out to Bedrock now to see if they could arrange everything in person right away, rather than keep the tense agreement with Palmstone going and possibly bring about more trouble. When Pebbles had finally gotten home, she was pleased to find that Bam Bam had booked a flight for 4, packed their bags, and was keeping Roxy and Chip from running away. Determined to get them away from an environment that was doing more harm than good, they had then left for the airport. Mom, I'm hungry, Chip whined as he smoothed down his black tunic with the hand that wasn't carrying his suitcase. That flight took way too long, the plane was cold, and it was boring. Pebbles sighed and walked over to a payphone.
Once I phone your grandparents and see if they can pick us up, we'll talk about dinner.
She replied in a no-nonsense voice.
Bammer, watch them.
Okay, Pebs. Okay, Pebs. Bam Bam replied with a sigh in his voice as he kept an eye on his wayward children. Okay, we won't. I don't know. Excuse me. I called Wilma and she said that she and Betty will come as soon as they can, Barney said as he walked into the hospital waiting room. Barney said as he walked into the hospital waiting room where Fred was sitting on the couch holding Stoney's backpack and work hat. We should have waited for the police to finish with Skip before we came to the hospital. Fred shook his head. 3 hours was my limit, he replied in a tired voice. Mr. Slate was so busy fielding calls from reporters and trying to keep the other workers from going after Skip, and I don't think he cared whether or not we stuck around. I grabbed Stoney's stuff from his locker in case he needs it. I'm sure Stoney's not feeling like... Wait. I'm sure Stoney's not going to feel like doing any homework, Barney commented in a concerned voice as he walked over and sat down next to Fred. That accident was pretty serious, you know. Fred sighed and set the backpack down on the floor. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a photo of him and a younger Stoney, wearing fishing hats and vests over their normal clothes and holding poles. Wilma took this when we took Stoney camping this summer after we adopted him, Fred explained as he showed the photo to Barney. He was having a little trouble fitting in and tried to run away. Barney nodded. He and Betty had gone with them and still remembered that trip well. That was when Stony sprained his ankle in that cave, right? Barney asked. It took both of us... I'm sorry, Fred. It took both of us to get him out of there. I wish we had gotten him out of this mess, Fred replied bitterly. I can't believe Skip wasn't fired. Barney sighed. Maybe he will be after all this is over, he replied. There's gonna be an investigation. Stoney doesn't need this right now, Fred replied, deeply annoyed. He's got finals coming up. Before Barney, who hated how Fred was beating himself up, could reply, Wilma and Betty rushed into the waiting room.
We came as fast as we could.
Wilma said as she hugged Fred.
Any news yet?
No, we couldn't even get here right away, Fred replied in a distressed voice. Mr. Slate made Barney and I wait at the quarry for 3 hours to talk to us and the rest of the guys about what happened. The quarry's gonna be closed for a few days so things can be sorted out, and I'm worried. Wilma nodded and gently rubbed Fred's shoulder as the doctor came into the room holding a Gently rubbed Fred's shoulder as a doctor came into the room holding a clipboard in one hand and a shell helmet in the other. Are you all here about Stony Flintstone? He asked in a concerned voice. I'm Dr. Moonstone, the one in charge of Stony's medical care. Stoney's going to be fine, but he did sustain some serious injuries that will require him to stay in the hospital for a few days before he can go home, because he had major surgery.
Can we see Stony?
Wilma asked anxiously, hoping that her only son was truly all right.
Please?
Dr. Moonstone nodded. Just be aware that Stoney's still coming out of the anesthesia and might not be fully aware of his surroundings for a while yet, he replied gently. If you want, I'll take you to his room. Suddenly, Fred's portable phone went off in his pocket, and Fred quickly took it out and answered it with a sigh. Hello? He asked in a tired voice. Oh, hi, Pebbles. What do you mean you're at the airport? Fred was silent as Pebbles explained the situation, and was relieved when Wilma quickly took the phone from him and held it to her ear.
Hello? Hello, Pebbles. Betty and I will come to the airport as fast as we can.
She said in a calm voice, nodding at Fred to follow Dr. Moonstone.
Yes, Pebbles, I understand.
Fred sighed deeply and followed Dr. Moonstone out of the room, relieved when Barney tagged along. Let's see. The rest of the well-cared-for land was bare. Or at least as far as Skip saw it as he pulled his Rolls Royce up to the curb in front of the old castle-like house that had been abandoned for many years. He could see his son, Boulder, who was a tall, skinny 13-year-old with dark pelt on and slicked hair, lingering outside the front left window. I forget how Skip sounded like. Yeah, Boulder, why do you waste your time looking at this rundown shack? Skip said as he got out of the car and walked over to where his son was standing. I've told you time and time again, that's not... A loud groan suddenly filtered out the window, and Boulder whimpered.
I had a voice. Oh my god. Whatever. Dad, it's haunted!
He whispered in a horrified voice as he backed away and moved towards the car.
Let's go home!
Skip scoffed, but before he could reply, the front door opened and a large man that looked like a Stone Age Frankenstein came outside holding a large black bag in one hand and looked at them quizzically. Both Skip and Boulder screamed loudly, bolted back to their car, and drove off into the night as the big man yawned loudly. I forget what is this? I forget what they sound like, but okay. Frank, after you get the trash out, and Nate Slate's on the phone. A feminine voice spilled out into the night. He wants to talk to you about the upcoming meeting. Frank sighed, put the bag in a gray bin beside the house and sighed.
Is that Hidea?
Hidea.
Hidea. Okay. Coming, Hidea, dear.
He replied in a calmer voice as he turned and went back inside the house. A moment later, the door slammed, making the night quiet once more. And that is the end of Chapter 3. Man, we aren't even an hour in.
Wait.
That,
Wait.
that and I feel like that ended kind of abruptly, but sure.
I think it was fine.
Yeah, well.
For I guess for some context, like the seemingly monstrous neighbors that we see in Bedrock, those are canon characters.
Mm.
Hidea and was it Frank? They're the Frankenstones who showed up in like some of the 70s and 80s material.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had forgotten they were in the story, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember like a lot of these characters, to be honest with you.
Like they were not in the original show or even like the 70s Pebbles and Bam Bam show. These guys came pretty late into the franchise's run as well.
Okay, that probably explains it then, because I
Like
think I only saw like the original series. I want to say.
if Fred and Wilma are the honeymooners, so that make them actually don't know the actual names of the characters in the honeymooners, but if Fred's crew are the honeymooners, the Frankenstones are the monsters.
Hmm.
The honeymooners? What? Is that just supposed to be like an archetype? Or are you making an analogy?
Sitcom that, well, yes and yes, but
Yeah.
The Honeymooners is a 1950 sitcom starring Jackie Gleason, and that's ostensibly what inspired the Flintstones. That's
I
like,
see.
The character archetypes pretty much like the character archetypes of the main man, his wife, his neighbor, and his wife are Fred, Wilma, Barney, and Betty.
Hmm.
I see.
So yes, if the Flintstones and Rumbles are one group of characters from a show, an old sitcom, then the Frankenstones are basically another group of characters from a sitcom. Best description ever, I know.
Yeah, it's great.
Lovely.
Yeah, okay, so this character is like a character from a show, and this other character is like from a character based off a character from another show.
Wow.
Well, I enjoy the chapter just to contextualize what Wilma and Betty have been doing in like the intervening years. Like I actually forget what Wilma was doing like by this point in time in the franchise.
Mm.
Like what had she been doing? I forget what Wilma was doing. Betty was like a reporter for like a few years. But now they're caterers. And yeah, color me surprised Dino's still alive.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I know what Betty looks like.
I'm gonna have to look at like
Slim body, big head, black hair. She wears blue.
Oh, I think I know her. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look at the character.
You see this, Warner Brothers? When you
What
You see this, Warner Bros. When you only milk Scooby Doo, no one else knows what the other Hanna-Barbera characters look like.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Jellystone. Okay, I may have been too hard on Warner. They did make a Flintstones movie less than a decade ago, and there was that other spin-off TV show that apparently aired on TV. So, yeah, they're getting better, thankfully. And there was a comic that people said was actually pretty good.
Oh wait, they're still making Flintstones?
Yes, they are.
Huh. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like,
I haven't really seen anything in ages, so I wouldn't really know.
So yeah, I think I'm done for today.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's late now, so
yeah.
I'll just quickly explain, I guess, what we're doing for the next episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because the next episode is gonna be the anniversary, right?
Next week,
Yeah,
baby.
Could be. That's where we're approaching 3 years.
Hooray! Oh no.
Hip hip hooray!
We're so excited, folks.
Yeah, it just kind of puts things into perspective. Like 3 years, and we've done like this, like the one thing that's been consistently done on this stupid channel. Like, wow.
It's not my fault.
So
Officially, I'm not even a member of C's Brain, so like, I'm giving y'all content.
we're working on it slowly
Yeah,
but
like
surely.
I was wondering for a while, what is your relation to C's brain, Scrappy?
Hostage situation.
I have him locked in my basement.
Tell me you're feeding him, Harry.
Oh god.
Yes, but it's like the really cheap Pocky you get from the convenience store.
So just Pocky?
Yeah. Oh my god.
So, yeah, folks, we have just not. I haven't even locked down who's going to be showing up. I have to send out some invitations, ask all the people who were present, like for year 3.
I mean,
They want to show up, and
we're also gonna have to like work around like a bunch of people's schedules as well. So it's like,
yep. We got people in the United States, people in the United Kingdom, people in Canada.
Well, Canada is not too far off from the U.S.
Depends on which side of Canada you're on.
True.
oh,
So,
dead.
yeah, like at this point, I think we know. I think people have been following the show long enough to kind of know the drill with the anniversary episodes. We just kind of look at a list of the stuff we read for year 3 and just kind of reminisce.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, basically.
more casual than usual affair.
Let's go clip compilation.
See, now that would require effort from us. So no,
Yeah, efforts.
it's like a clip show where they're like, "Hey, remember when we did that?" And then the editors didn't even get a clip, like show the actual like footage.
Yeah.
You get a clip show, but oh my god. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, you get a clip show, but nobody in the clip remembers it happening.
Yeah.
It's like an episode. I don't know. Like imagine a TV show where like the characters are locked in a closet and it's like the lights are off and they're like, "Hey, remember that situation we had?" And like you don't actually see the footage and everything's still dark for some reason.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just see their eyes.
Oh no, it's like, oh gosh, like friggin' Family Guy when Brian and Stewie realize what the characters do when a cutaway gag happens.
Yeah.
This makes me think of that time when I.
So yeah, we're just gonna. It's gonna be a casual, hopefully fun affair. And I can't believe we've made it to this far.
Awesome.
Yeah, he died.
Yep. He couldn't even make it that far.
I beg your pardon.
You cut off. You cut off as you were saying. Make it this far.
Yeah. Oh, good.
This episode right now is our 90th episode, so we've made progress.
Oh my god, you're so right. I didn't even notice that.
As I say, we're like, I kind of surprised how close we are to 100 at this point.
And before anyone asks, no, we're probably not doing anything special for the 100th.
And I'm just gonna
Unless I feel like.
unless we can think of something last minute, like I don't know.
100th episode, maybe Maddie shows up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm gonna stop playing.
So, Pedriva, final thoughts?
Yeah, it's a great story. I don't know.
Enlightening as ever, Pedriva.
You should get your voice checked, man. You sound a little sick. So yeah, that's about all I've got. I had to go send out some I need to go take some speech lessons, and I need to send out some invitations and compile a list of what we read over the last year.
And I'm gonna get back to gaming.
Gaming.
Only the most thrilling of schedules for me.
Imagine playing games.
Well, Harry doesn't have to.
I think I'm trying to remember how many episodes we did we do this year. I had to look into that. I feel like we had a better cadence than we did with year 2 because we actually had people show up.
Wasn't year 2?
E-team, let's go.
Yeah, well, wasn't a lot of year 2 just us sitting on our asses?
Year 2 was, man, I could summarize year 2 during the year 3 video. We just had people were just unavailable. I was either like sick, trying to move, or out of it.
Yeah.
Year 3, year of the B team.
I was gonna say it.
Pretty much. That should probably just be what the episode's called.
Year of the B team.
Oh man.
We didn't name these guys that. They just put it on themselves.
It was Pedriva's idea.
Yeah. Like
I'm just rolling with it because it's funny.
Yeah. Guess so. Oh god.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. Yep.
So those are my final thoughts.
No thoughts, head empty.
Yeah, right.
I wish you all again a happy belated Trans Day of Visibility, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Yep. I've got nothing else to add, honestly.
Yeah, me neither.
See you guys. See you guys next time, I guess. You
Go to sleep, Harry.
Cut the stream, Harry. Cut it now.
Y'all suck. Bye. No.